She said that he had choked her. She said he had hit her in the face.
Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton said that Leon El-Alamin, Flint's first ward councilman, faces charges of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder by strangulation, which is a felony, along with the misdemeanor charge of domestic violence.
What happens when the justice system erases your past, but your past is not done with you? Flint City Councilman Leon El-Alamin was the face of redemption, a former gang member turned hero. His rap sheet wiped clean, all thanks to a Michigan law called the Clean Slate Act, a law that meant to give folks a second chance. But now he's back in cuffs, charged with punching a woman, dragging her by her hair, and choking her over an email. So let me ask you, does erasing someone's record actually help society, or does it just help folks hide who they truly are? Let's get into it.
So the Mount Morris Township Police received a call and were dispatched to an address. And when they got there, there was a woman who said that she had been assaulted by her longtime live-in boyfriend. And she had lacerations on her face and bruising, consistent with her claim that she was punched in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hannibal is Hungry channel. We've talked about the Flint situation before, the Flint City situation. This city has a lot of problems going on, a lot of drama, probably more drama than a high school hallway. There's the water crisis, obviously. There's some alleged corruption, chaotic city meetings. So there's been a lot of arguments, fights on the council floor.
She told you this is ADA, and then you slanders her out. That's a female, and that's the same cop who's been wanting to start at the whole thing.
Right. I didn't want them to feel so that. They did. Hold on.
Let's get it cracking.
This is actually pretty reminiscent to the Dolton meetings with Tiffany Henyard, but it's a little different because the mayor is not even in these meetings. It's more of a strong council, weak mayor system where the councilmen have most of the power. In this situation right now, they're down a council member. Quincy Murphy passed away recently, so there's an empty seat on top of all of the problems that they have. If you want to see how off the rails some of these meetings can get, check out YouTuber AK Cole. He captures a lot of this meeting's chaos and nonsense. It's basically like reality TV. You're talking about the yelling, the walkouts, finger pointing, all while the city is falling apart. The council is split into factions like a high school lunchroom, complete with the side eyes, the whisper campaigns, and just basically full-blown shouting matches. And now you have this individual by the name of Leon, the man that's supposed to represent the first ward with dignity and respect, is now facing felony charges. So here's how it went down. On July 10th, 2025, during a traffic stop, El-Alamin was arrested. The warrant for domestic violence incident. So according to prosecutors, he punched a woman in the face, dragged her by her hair, and choked her unconscious because she was checking her emails. When the cops raided the house later, they found an unregistered gun.
And she had lacerations on her face and bruising, consistent with her claim that she was punched in the face. She had a mark across her neck, consistent with her statement that she had been choked, and she said she had been dragged out of the room by her hair. Her statement to the police was that Mr. El-Alamin became angry because she was looking at her emails and he didn't like that.
And I do believe they found some strands of hair on the floor, on the ground. So that corroborated what she said.
Layton says an unregistered firearm was also found inside the house.
That aspect of this remains under investigation.
Now, obviously we believe in due process. He says he's innocent. You're innocent to proven guilty. But let's talk about this law. Let's talk about the law that was able to get several of these charges from this councilman expunged. Let's talk about the Clean Slate Act. The Clean Slate Act was passed in 2020 in Michigan, fully rolled out by 2023.
Sherry, officials with the law school say that the state's 2020 Clean Slate law is providing a pathway for people to clean off their records of up to 3 eligible felonies and any misdemeanors.
You know, you've paid your penance for what you've done, but what we found is that, too often people were continuing to pay for it over and over again across their lives, even if their crime happened, long ago.
But this isn't just a little misunderstanding. These are some very serious charges. And what makes this even messier is that Leon has a record, a long one: gang activity, violence, prison time. But thanks to this thing called the Clean Slate Act, that history was erased. It automatically expunges up to 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. Felonies vanish after 10 years if there's no new crimes. Misdemeanors disappear after 7 years. This was pitched as a win for criminal justice reform. They're saying, you know what, let's stop punishing people forever for past mistakes. If someone committed a crime a long time ago and they haven't done anything wrong in a long time, maybe it should not be on their record. Also, did not know this, but New York State has the Clean Slate Act as well. So, hey, the more you know. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this situation. Because right now we're going to talk about the cracks in that plan. Now, some crimes cannot be expunged under the law. So crimes like murder, sexual assault, child abuse, anything with life sentencings, obviously. But the thing is, gang violence, drug trafficking, assault, those can slide through, especially if they're old or pled down to lower charges. So now you have people out there with patterns of violent behavior walking around with squeaky clean records. You could be living next to a former felon and have no idea. Or worse, voting for one. So that's exactly what is happening in Flint. People voted for this individual thinking that he was reformed, but the record was gone. Voters had no way of knowing. Now here's where it hits even harder. Flint is obviously a city in crisis. They need someone they can trust, someone to lead. Instead, they have another headline while they're still dealing with the death of Councilman Quincy Murphy and trying to find a replacement, and the city meetings are still turning into battlegrounds. This whole arrest is just another distraction, another circus. The city is trying to figure out how to move forward, and this just pulls them back. But let's zoom out. Was the Clean Slate Act a bad idea? The intent was good. Give people a second chance. Help them get jobs, housing, and stability. But that only works if they actually change. When you wipe away all traces of someone's past and they haven't done the internal work, what you have done is removed the warning signs, the red flags. You have taken a community's ability away to protect itself. Forgiveness and blindness are not the same thing. Let's be real, not everyone deserves a second chance, at least not without accountability. This law assumes that time automatically equals transformation, but if you ask any therapist, any social worker, time doesn't heal behavior. If someone is still violent and impulsive, still dangerous, then erasing their rap sheet is just setting up the next victim. And when that person gets elected with zero transparency, you have turned a city seat into a weapon. And that's what is happening here. Again, allegedly. In my opinion, I don't think you need to expunge a record. I believe that your record is your record. If you've done something 10 years ago, you should have that there and able to explain how you turned your life around. I think many people would understand that if you've done some wrong when you were younger and now you cleaned yourself up, that's a long time ago, I think people will still hire you. People will still give you a second chance. Not everybody, but at least everyone has the opportunity to know exactly what you've done. We are defined by the things that we've done in our past, good or bad. So since his arrest, Leon has been out on bond. He is denying all charges. He said he's going to fight this in court. We'll see what happens with that. Unfortunately, Flint is back in the national spotlight for dysfunction, and the community is still asking, who can we trust to fix this problem? And guess what? There's thousands of people across Michigan who've had their records wiped under the same law. How many of them are still living double lives? How many of them holding public office? How many are working in schools, hospitals, police departments? It's an interesting question. So my final question for you guys is, should violent offenders be allowed to expunge their records? Should the system tell us when someone is clean when they might be or still be a danger? Or is this law good policy or just good politics? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you're interested in this type of content, please hit the subscribe button. Does this Clean Slate Act, this law, makes your community safer or more vulnerable? Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.